Hello and good evening, people. Yeah. I was really close not to streaming today, but you know what? We're here. I sat down at the PC just now, and about 2 minutes ago, 2 to 5 minutes ago. And what's the point? Let's continue on. So we have talent points to spend today. I always look at backdraft. Always look at what is it? Burning Blood backdraft. And I have that already. Okay. Inflict Despair. Uncanny Side. Okay. I got instant exposure. Because I don't think we want anything else. Yeah, no. Uses of Heroic Act decreases fail degradation. No. Awareness is a thing we're maxing out continuously on this character. Athletics, Persuasion, Commerce, Coercion, Xeno, Warp. Let's go Warp. Why not? Cautious. Deal to the warrior. Okay. Lance Chief Warrior. Gain 8 plus. First attack made in combat. They gain 15 dodge. And freezes a successful dodge. Is there anything that grants us parry? Because that is the thing I'm most interested about. I'm most interested about, honestly. Warrior damage is increased. There are no adjusted enemies at the start of the turn. Okay, yeah, sure. That actually sounds good. Commerce, Coercion, Imperial Lore. See, why do you have high? No, don't ask the question. That's probably stupid. Okay, Jay, what do we have for you? Whenever the officer uses an ability on an ally, they gain bonus to their perception equal to 6. This is how. Spy Courage. Yeah, sure. More temporary wounds. Whenever the officer uses 2 officer archetype and does not grant an extra turn, the officer gain establishes next officer archetype ability. Does not grant a turn also effect. Yeah, sure. Coercion, Persuasion, Imperium Lore, Warp Lore, Xeno Lore, Tech Use, Commerce, Coercion. Coercion it is then. I'm a bit sad. I think I'm going to lose Lose Henrik's, Ulfar, and Agatha. Yeah. What do you actually have on Agatha? You actually have light armor on. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense for you to actually have any crane have any other stuff on. Okay, fair enough. For each hit with a flamer, the power of burning inflicted by this flamer's attack is increased by +3 until the end of combat. That could be something. We have 16 to 24, 18 to 26. So that heavy flamer is better, so to say, but it doesn't have the unique ability, the one that sets the ground on fire, which is really good. Cover efficiency, point blank. After a soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies, the soldier gain 24% for the next. Rapid reload. Rapid reload is... yes. Medicaid, sure. Ulfar, what do we have for you? Suffers 7 less from bleeding. Yeah, sure. And athletics. Scowl. Inflict despair. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And we are going logic. Strength. Corpus conversion. Whenever the Psyker is healed or heal an ally, if the character being healed is already at full, they gain temporary wounds. When the Psyker's allies or the Psyker themselves are under the effect of psychic powers. Pulse of life. In the first round, every combat, all psychic powers are cost less. Yeah, sure. You also have... oh, no. Okay. Metabolic overcharge, I guess. Enfeeble. You know what? Enfeeble. What are you really good at? Is it Warp? Is it Xenos? Okay. I don't really have anything you're really good. Corrals is fairly high. Demolition is okay. Tech use. Medicaid is actually... fuck it. At the first melee attack, each round deals additional 2 damage for every cell. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Take that one. Psychic critical chance increased. Yep. Willpower. Why not? Stronger Xenos. No heresy. Confer immunity whenever the Psyker is here. Yeah, that's a solid one. Sword of Faith. This costs 50 momentum. Cannot be used when momentum is 170 or higher. Until the end of the combat, a weapon in the Psyker's hand is replaced with a sword made by sheer will. This sword has a single target attack and an area attack, and can be released in a cone of fire. Like a flamer. Okay, that's actually really interesting. The damage of this sword is the damage as the Purge Soul. Okay. If the Psyker used a force weapon, all the bonuses of the force weapon remain for the purpose of the talent. Other bonuses. Faith of Sword counts as a force sword. Wait. The power can be used again, increased by the... You know what? Fuck it. That sounds really interesting. Where do we have the Blade of Light? Yep. Psychic Barrage. Whenever it uses psychic power on a target, deal 3 additional damage. Pick up that one. Corrose. Okay. Grievous Wounds. Martyrdom. Where is it? Martyrdom. Single target. Out of my way. Peak condition. Yep. And then we have here. Yeah, sorry, it's taking a lot of time. We've been doing this for 12 minutes. Whenever the warrior hit one under the door, deflect damage, field medic. Warrior's critical damage is increased by 18% against enemies not armed with melee weapon. Yeah. Open engagement, living shield. Slash. You know what? Epicenter of slaughter. And project, why not? Okay. We are going to check through here now. Nothing here.
Corruption has infiltrated via Boss 6, Lord Captain. The cultists of the Cult of the Final Dawn have agitated the convicts into a full-blown uprising, promising them a chance at escape. The planet's cargo port and guard facilities are now under siege. The cult conspirators do not personally participate in the assault. Not too long ago, they scurried into the mines, deep into the tunnels rife with Xenos corruption. The overseers report the occurrence of tremors. It seems that the heretics are trying to clear up the cave INS that we used to ward off the subterranean monster.
That looks really interesting. Fiend of Viabus. All coercion. Whenever an enemy enters a 5-cell zone around the rogue trader and their allies, this enemy must pass a willpower test with a 5+, or become staggered for 1 turn. If 2 or more allies are close enough to trigger this effect, the enemy must pass this resistance test for each of these allies. Okay, that's actually a really good passive. Mercy of the repentance. Spare the convicts. Will not waste a second chance they have been granted. Even if it costs their life, they have made a well-disciplined emergency crew. The flag should suffer minus 40% ram damage, less against, and gain 50% reduced internal fire. Okay. Why did the cultists go for that place in particular?
Unfortunately, we do not know the true objectives of the heretics. But there is nary a doubt that they are pursuing a sinister and wicked goal, and therefore must be stopped.
2. What is the current situation on the surface?
The overseers are trapped inside the guard facilities, and the convicts are now united by their common hatred for the dynasty and are obsessed with the tales of freedom.
What do my advisors say?
Heretics seek out those who are weak of spirit and entice them with promises of salvation. But such spineless lot lacks the resolve to fight and will drop their weapons should someone give them reason to fear. The purpose of many tactics in warfare is to sow terror in the enemy ranks, and I know some of these tactics well. Make them quiver, eat vata, and those weaklings will forget all about their heinous intentions. Lord Captain, your resources and status allow you to make use of one of the most blunt and affordable tools of all, mercenaries. These dogs of war would even be ready and willing to go inside the warp if you paid them well enough. Provide the overseers with some backup from their ranks, and the crisis will be over in mere moments.
Let the rebels know I will bomb them into submission and will give them truly a fear. Ulfar, show how to instill fear in my enemies. Fiend of Veobus. You know what? We're going this. Casualty are no concern, just murder them.
Those who were tempted by heresy shall perish. The colony's security systems have awakened. The powerful air blowers have pumped toxic gas out of the bowels of the planet and into the ventilation systems of the mining facilities. The rebellion was quashed in mere minutes. Thousands of convicts and overseers have suffocated. The leaders of the conspiracy, the cultists of the Final Dawn, are trapped in the mines. They have surrounded a strange dark Xeno obelisk, covered with GLYPHS, trying to awaken it from its slumber. The GLYPHS on it were similar to those that the mad convicts were drawing. The monstrous construction contained enough energy to tear the planet apart. By heroically disrupting the cultists' plan, the guards have disrupted the terrible machine. Instead of exploding, the obelisk emitted a blistering heat wave, melting itself and turning those around it to ash. Veobos 6 had been saved.
Okay. I need Fellowship of the Void for that. I need Xeno Intoxication for that. And Duracian. Voice. This is the problem, like, a lot of the weapons feels meh if you compare them, like the purchase weapon here, and then you go to this one here. It's just, it's a really cool two-handed chainsword. Yeah, absolutely. But is it cool enough? Archive, Eye of Omnissiah. Holy Munition, 20k reputation. That is from Filestone. We can't build that. We do not own Filestone. That is achieve expanse. We need 54,000 reputation with explorators. That okay. Archive expands. 1,000 registers. Document. Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay, so we need explorators. This is the thing we want. That looks fucking awesome. That's the thing we want for our build. 1+ side rating means 1+ attack. That also means the fact that 45% damage plus when we have 100% health. That is bonkers. That is absolute bonkers. Can't get this. Otherwise, I kind of like this 20k rep. This is the one we're going for. But we need more rep with the Explorators for it. Tools of killing. That's from Kibagama, right? Tools of killing, yeah. This one. Okay, fair enough. What am I missing for this? Missionary. Foulstone. Defender, Foulstone can send by sending... Okay, so we can't actually get Dragonus to the last tier. That is a bit annoying. I am not going to lie, that is a bit annoying. Okay.
Lord Captain, an urgent report from the servants of the Omnisar. They managed to locate a second message on the House Orsleo data slate, hidden in the shadow of the first one. As soon as it happened, the machine spirit rebelled and started devouring the decrypted data. The acolytes of the cult Mechanicus are performing the rites to appease it and slow down the process of annihilation. What should we do?
Display the message on screen right now.
The combead echoes with the furious clicking of Victus's augmented fingers. A few moments later the vid screen of your cogitator shows the recording through a wall of static. Rogue trader, you hardly know me, but I am well informed of your deeds. A well-built young man adjusts his silk headband embellished with the symbol of the Navi's Nobilite. My name is irrelevant, for as long as the cursed child continues to live and breathe, no one in House Orsleo is safe. I know what Master Felix and Lady Elena Hateria had to do at Yorikvi and in your palace. I understand your anger. House Orsleo deeply apologizes for these incidents. The navigator tiredly closes his eyes. I presume you already know that House Orsleo will be holding a grand council in the depths of that accursed atlas very soon. And we cannot ignore the call, for we are bound to it against our will. I am also aware that you enjoy a great influence over the cursed child. Convince her to reject the atlas. Break the centuries-old shackles binding our house. Crush Tisiphon's tyranny under her foot. Or simply kill her, I do not care. I am not going to lie, we are unlikely to become good friends, but House Orsleo values true allies like no other. The true House Orsleo, that is, and not these lunatic zealots of the Regent. To assure you my offer is not vain, I will be the first to extend my hand in gesture of goodwill. A gratuitous gift to the von Valancius dynasty. You will find it among the stars of Martianus, an emerald clutched in the Steer RM's embrace. Headlo. T. Re. T. And. The vid recording cuts short and you hear the Vox Master's voice in your combead. I am very sorry, Lord Captain. The servants of the Omnisar could no longer restrain the machine spirit's hunger. I hope you were able to see the vid message through to the end.
Okay. Abandoned planet, abandoned unidentified ruins. Okay, so it told us, gave us a location. What the Emerald Star, right? What? Okay. Profit factor gained. Project. I'm sorry, Captain. The servants on the Omnisaya. The Emerald Star of Martinus. Star of Martinus. Where do we have Forgotten, Langus Belt, Epsilon, Plutum, Limbum, Plumbum, Nominum, Divinum. Star of Martinus. Okay. Can't find that. Emerald. Do we have anything emerald? Pillage. Nola. Emperor's Palm. Crunch. Last Chance. Mortis. Narmer. No, we don't. We're heading here.
The clan. The ecclesiarchy mission on board the void ship held sermons in every corner of the haunted chamber.
Bim, 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 ba-dim, ba-dim. Explored. Explored. Already explored. Abandoned Palace. This is a new location. This is a new location that comes in when you have gotten okay, we got ourselves a Bone Breaker. When you hit an enemy with Bone Breaker, must pass a toughness, otherwise gain a trauma. Okay.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Okay, we got ourselves a fair few interests. Whenever the wearer deals damage with a heavy weapon to an enemy, if 3 or more stacks, they already target, the wearer also inflicts stagger for 2 rounds. Whenever perform a heroic act or a desperate nurture, they gain +2 AP, plus temporary wounds. Whenever parries an attack, they immediately strike back the attacker. If attack deals damage, the wearer performs a kick to push them away.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
I cannot go on like this, Helena. I cannot. I served my master loyally, as did my father and his father before that. But this cannot continue. No, I am tired. To bury the corpses of murderers and traitors to the Imperium is the noble thing to do, but now I must conceal the deaths of these innocent young men and women. They are almost children. Cursed be the day when the governor became the ruler of this world. I will break this vicious circle. This I promise. Tonight, I will flee the estate and together we will journey to the Star Speakers. They will warn the servants of the God Emperor about the heresy lurking in these walls. They will return for us. They will save us. Just wait for me, Helena. Just wait until I return.
We have more goods there. Okay, let's head over here first then. We have ancient servitors. I know for a fact of what it is because I've already played this before.
The desiccated manuscripts date back a dozen centuries. This palace is probably one of the oldest outposts of the Imperium.
Yes, it is.
A lushly dressed, vaguely human-like carcass sits reclined in a massive Calixian oak armchair. Calloused brownish-blue patches cover the dead flesh, overlapping one another like snake scales. One of the hands, claws of exposed bone, supports a grotesquely bloated face. The creature's chest remains motionless and its eyes stay tightly closed. And yet the muscles on the distorted face twitch ever so briskly when you approach. Argenta draws her weapon, looks at you, and cocks a questioning eyebrow.
Who are you? Speak up.
The creature's eyelids flutter open, searing you with the unnatural glow of its yellow pupils. The disfigured lips twist, stretching the smile wider and wider, until the thin skin bursts with a sharp snap, revealing row after row of pointed teeth.
KHOMR-NGRO FNAGLHEPT.
A twisted, guttural voice bursts from the creature's throat, and it roars with laughter.
God Emperor, hear your daughters please. May you guide my hand such that this heresy no longer defiles the ground upon which your servants tread.
Sharp scales break away from the dense skin with every shot as the creature's flesh explodes, reducing its ugly carcass to a bloody pulp. The mutilated face, completely stripped of skin, and even bones, grins at you with the demented smile of a severed jaw.
Light of the throne.
Jay clutches the aquila, looking at the creature's corpse with disgust.
I had to deal with mutants both in the sewers of Footfall and in the depths of the underhives. But this one, did you see his eyes? They burn like embers in the empty eye sockets.
Do not think me a coward, Lord Captain, but I would prefer to leave this place as soon as we can. Who knows how many such creatures lurk in the palace depths?
The creature's flesh starts swiftly regenerating before your very eyes.
Yep.
Within seconds the bones are once again fused together. The vessels, internal organs, and nervous system grow back. The spatter of blood flows back toward the carcass, being absorbed through the exposed tissue and rapidly recovering scale-marked skin. The same creature is standing before you a moment later, but this time its fiery yellow eyes are burning with anger.
THMODRFT PAK TCHVNGLD MEKE. I do no TLK playing with my FOOD.
The creature angrily shakes its chins in an effort to remember human speech, its jowls melding into its shoulders and faintly glowing rib cage. A peculiar accessory shaped like a scarab and covered in luminous vermilion GLYPHS has painfully lodged itself into the flesh of the creature, something that undoubtedly used to be a man. You have heard of the powerful Xeno artifacts from the distant Halo stars, discovered by humanity millennia ago. Artifacts that belonged to a race more ancient than the most venerable among the Aldrai. Artifacts most impure, fatally dangerous, forbidden in the Imperium on threat of the cruelest of tortures, and yet capable of granting the darkest of human desires, a means to cheat death and to embrace life eternal.
Yeah, but at what cost? The Halo device should not have gone to such a weakling. I will take it.
Brati Sonk Vivste KHOMS PKNGLF. ERHST Co. MJE.
The elucidator fails to interpret the twisted speech taking root in your mind like a pestilent weed. The creature contentedly smacks its lips.
I will fi an ALE. TAST the Savory FLESH. Again.
Oh, glorious spectacle of your demise.
You know it's bad when your knees... You stand up and your knees are... Okay. 1900 health. Pascal is first. Then it's that ancient servitor, then it's that combat servitor, then it's Jay. Okay.
My vow is to serve.
No, you're not moving anywhere, are you?
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running binary override.
Okay, Agatha.
Guided by faith.
We are going to light you on fire.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Yep. Then we are going
I'll do
to
it.
do that. We are then going to
Justice
wildfire
for the
here.
weak. I will not.
So I can't do that. I can take that out. Put a burning effect on you. Burn everyone in my own team. I can't do that.
I'll do it.
That means this one is probably going to die. We
Faith
pop
without
run and
deeds
gun.
is worthless.
Move here. Fuck it.
You, my emperor.
And
As
we
the
pop
emperor
that.
commands, I act.
Okay. Okay. You have almost unlimited attacks. That is not good for you. That can actually hit too. Okay.
Seems within- Another one is shattered.
Killed one. Whoa. We are then going to light you.
Set work.
You know what? Can I kill you? That is just not enough to get me above, huh?
Let's see.
Okay, that's great. We got our ultimate already.
Behold my artistry!
That means we can now do that. That is a fair amount of damage. Then we pop that.
Predictable downfall.
So that increases the damage of everyone around us. And... oh, fuck's sake. What is that? Psyker breastplate. The wearer gains an additional psi rating. How many psi ratings do you have now? How high are you? You have 6 psi rating now. 2 from the breastplate. Oh my god. Okay.
Don't get too cocky.
That guy is going to die so fucking quickly.
Oh, a wicked thought.
That's going to die. That's going to die. You actually are not burning anymore, so we light you on fire.
Within schemes.
Let's go for
I
that.
can do that with the right incentive.
We now have 3 points left.
Don't get too cocky.
Okay, good. Grant extra assault to
10
you.
and it is done. I can do that with the right incentive. Don't get too
If I
cocky.
do that, Do I get more? I don't think so. No, I don't get any more.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
How much resolve do you have now? 30 plus temporary wound, movement point. Okay. 25 resolve. It's interesting to see if I actually have. Would be interesting to see if I. Why do you only have one weapon? Oh yeah, I remember what I was doing.
It will be done. Indeed. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
Another one is shattered.
I challenge you, Danget.
You know what?
None can do that.
Boom to the face. Boom to the face. And then we stab you.
The wolf succeeds.
And a kick. If he goes after Abelard, then it's just...
Request approved.
Then it's just fair game for me to just take him down, pretty much.
Combat is an equation. Your life is a negligible variable.
This is why I was chosen.
Just unload more fire damage against him, yeah.
Doubt is for the weak.
That one's dead. You know what? Let's just hose down these two here. Yeah. I only have one attack this turn, right? We want to use it in a good way.
What if? A predictable downfall. A genius at work.
This is what you call bullying.
Cocky.
Follow my lead.
Oh.
Running by Heretical.
That he's dead.
My vow is to love.
How did he survive? I don't.
Wielding righteous fury.
As the Emperor commands.
Are you my emperor?
I'll do it.
Run and gun. Okay.
Schemes, fakes, flames. Another one. A wicked thought.
We got ourselves a fortress world. Okay, that's really good. And we got ourselves this one. This is one of the most OP things, but at the same time it has such a backside. +25 toughness, strength, toughness, agility, and perception. But you get lowered. You're using agility instead of intelligence, toughness instead of willpower, and strength instead of fellowship. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy, they deal 1% more damage until the end of combat, while their intelligence, willpower, and fellowship is reduced by 1 until the end of combat. You regen 2 healths every turn. It is fucking bonkers.
One step at a time.
But at the same time,
Amidst the madness.
so the Halo device is actually really cool thing, because it is in the lore, and it has some lore behind it. And if you actually start looking around here at the notes, faithful young men and women maiden picks up according to instruction. Yeah. Voluptuous in shape and similar in height and stature. Dainty and beautiful.
They will
You can
see.
use it.
Oh, yes,
It has
they
one major
all
backside.
will see.
That major backside is you
Unlocked.
need to consume human flesh for it to actually work. And that's a really big backside, isn't it? So that's kind of the story behind there is, or the story in that place is pretty much like, oh yeah, people keep coming to the palace, but they keep disappearing. We don't know what's going on. Unidentified dead world. Oh, it's that one. Yeah. There's a risk now that Henrik's Olfar leaves the party. Yeah. Because it's giving us a loading screen that is when in doubt, save. Yeah, save. Yeah, save every time you can. Because we've moved up 1 extra slot on Heretical. Could fully well be that they're leaving now. I'm kind of already set that they're going to leave, and I kind of wanted to do Henrik's quest. But I got sidetracked. Oh, it's Cassia. Oh.
Octavia the Fire Axe. How wonderful it is that I found you here.
Uncontrollable anxiety washes over your body, causing you to lose your breath. Cassia notices this, closes her eyes, and you are released from the grip of emotions that are not your own.
Please forgive me. My powers are sometimes too insistent in their attempts to break free from my control.
You made great strides in learning how to keep them at bay. I commend your perseverance.
I came to deliver good tidings. I have spoken with the house's navigators through the Atlas. Of late, I can feel with increasing clarity how our connection is growing stronger. Despite the dissent in its midst, House Orselio has been able to keep a precarious equilibrium, thanks in part to your unexpected arrival on Urak V and the resolution of the conflict at the Dargonis reception. Not all Orselios concur with your decisions, but none can deny the impact that you, and no one else, have had on the house's present state of affairs.
Cassia nods gratefully, lowers her gaze, and clasps her hands together.
There is more I wish to tell you. It is about the visions that I have come to experience at an increasing rate during warp jumps. The same visions come to me again and again and again. It is as if I am going mad. For you see, these visions are about me, the Atlas, and Tisiphone or Celio, the house's previous novator. I have seen Tisiphone's experiments, the ones that involved the navigators from the Sedhala branch, which she was rumored to have destroyed for disobedience. But the visions told me an altogether different story, one where the Sedhalas helped Tisiphone create the Atlas. And they vanished immediately after the experiments were done with. Perhaps I can, no, I know I can find the way to the palace of the Atlas if I recreate Tisiphone's journey from my visions. A real palace, not the psychophysical illusion to which the Orcelio navigators can reach out. I have always had a feeling that it truly exists in our world. Now, however, I know it with absolute certainty.
I have been informed that House Aurelio will soon convene a Grand Council. Would it not be better for us to wait to finish that first? What makes you so sure that you can find a way to the physical manifestation of the Atlas?
I saw Tisiphone experience an epiphany in a dream, just like my visions came to me on our travels through the warp. She beheld a planet hidden behind roiling warp storms. The world promised her great power, so Tisiphone gathered the Sedhalas, her most devout followers, to go on a suicidal journey through the tempest. I know not the details of what happened on that planet, but it was there that the Sedhalas sacrificed themselves for an experiment of some kind, and it was there that House Orcelio obtained its Starway Atlas. For the first time ever, I have an opportunity to find answers to the questions my mentors so deftly avoided. Why did Tisiphone choose me? What is the Atlas? Is it true that House Orcelio's past is drenched in blood? Please, Octavia the Fire Axe, do not snap this tautly drawn string of destiny, my destiny. Journey with me into Tisiphone's wake to the distant stars.
I shall help you.
Cassia breathes a sigh of relief, but the look in her ruby eyes quickly darkens again.
The house is still watching me. Both the renegades and the loyalists. I doubt that any of them will agree even to a brief armistice for the sake of learning the truth about the Atlas's origins. And I do not wish to see House Orcelio lose even one more life to another fratricidal skirmish. No, I shall go after the answers about our past on my own.
If you want to show the house your strength and undaunted, invite the renegades to the first to touch the secret of the Atlas they love so much. Then best we go alone. Yeah?
Cassia's shoulders relax a little.
Thank you for your understanding, rogue traitor. And now permit me to take my leave. I must start preparing for the journey. From what I have been able to glean, we must first travel to the
Her ruby-red eyes widen in astonishment.
Orcelio prophecy system. Odd that. Could it be that the historical records are lying? And Kaline Orcelio is not whom the star system is named after? Either way, that was the system from which Tisiphone embarked on her journey, and we are going to follow in her long-forgotten footsteps.
Okay. Nothing. We have gotten a fair bit. What is this?
The long dead eyes of this fierce monster forever capture the fear and pain of its final moments. The heavy altar looks as soon as you utter the first words of prayer, you sense someone's close attention from beyond the edge of reality. Dark flames fill your soul, and inspired thoughts burgeon in your mind.
Yeah, we're going full in on this. At the same time, I don't want to go, like, losing... Why do I have Ulfar in the party? This is a fucking Space Wolf. Do I need him? Probably not. I'm not running Henrix on a regular basis. The only one I'm running is Agatha, but theoretically speaking, we can actually replace her. We wanted to talk to Jay as well, right?
Shireen, O glorious son of dozens of worlds and billions of subjects, have you come to converse with Jai Hidari about the sweetness of her soul? Or do you wish to speak to a trade representative of the Imperium? Well, does the guise of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse suit me?
I would like to see the real you as often as possible.
You sure about that, milady? That can be arranged. Oh my, I beg your forgiveness, Shireen. Oh, I'm pretty sure the real me would earn herself a one-way trip to the airlock before the end of her first watch.
How's the gang faring, Jay?
Like you need to ask Shireen. These Ashmags and Kashaz are tenacious. They lick their wounds faster than the Ajji themselves. Tora finally got an implant for her jaw. Now she can speak properly instead of braying like a toothless donkey. She's been recruiting strapping guys and gals too, because Falco culled our ranks. May the Ajji savage the soul of that interstellar piranha.
You said you wanted to reflect on what happened.
Oh, yes, Shireen. And here is what I think. Since the day we first met, I have been tossed about like a boat in a storm. Battered, dashed against the rocks, lashed by the waves. And then I was flung onto the shore, and a fabulous gift washed up beside me. A precious pearl of the deep. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. And you know what? I enjoyed it. Yes, I was slammed face first into the rocks, and was up to my neck in water. But I finally had a taste of freedom. Just a smidge. Just a little bit. But it was enough to make me dream of it every night. Void, Kraken, take the Kasbalika and the cold trade. As for our mutual business, Shireen, I will remain your loyal partner if you desire. An equal partner.
Utter the last few would. This is your choice to make. All I can do is support it.
Then it is decided. Starting today, I will sail toward the future I choose. What a thrill it would be to ride the waves wherever they want to take me. Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Okay, and now... Kybella. We need to get back Kybella.
Lord Captain. Mistress Kybella is awaiting your judgment. Would you like her brought in?
I met your cousin, Marcarius.
May I ask your opinion of him, Lord Captain?
You're right. He's quite a scoundrel. I put him in his place. It was enjoyable.
She flashes a venomous smile.
I am sure he deserved it. A little beating will be good for his pride. Let him try to earn your respect now.
Bring Kybella here. I want to know what drove her to murder.
Let justice be done.
I knew something of this matter would happen.
Lord Captain, a murder has been committed on this ship. The victim is one Letard Forius, Chirurgeon Majoris. The perpetrator was apprehended at the scene of the crime, admitted her guilt, and did not resist arrest.
Kybella appears cold and apathetic. Her unblinking eyes stare vacantly, her expression odd.
The Forius clan invoked the ship's tradition and summoned a requiescator to testify on behalf of the deceased.
The masked man bows, stiffly and decorously.
2. A requiescator? Explain.
How do you feel, Kybella?
I am fine.
Kybella turns her face toward you slightly. A whisper escapes her lips.
This is just hollow ceremony. Pointless. 1. A requiescator? Explain.
A requiescator, okay.
When there is no one to speak for a deceased person in court, their representative is entitled to seek assistance from a member of the Requiescators Guild. Their duty is to know and remember each and every person on this ship so that they can defend the interests of the deceased and represent them in court. They study the victim's entire life history to gain the most detailed impression of their personality, deeds, and aspirations. The guild was founded by one of your distant ancestors and, To my knowledge, the Requiescators only exist on our glorious flagship.
Let us see how he knows the disease. Tell me, Requestigator, what did Furious like and dislike about his work?
The masked head lowers, and the man strokes his chin contemplatively.
He was fascinated by diseases, injuries, pathogens, complications. The part he disliked was the patients. They would not let him concentrate on that which was killing them.
Why is the Requestant speaking for Elise furious? Does he not have a family?
The clan to which the deceased belonged are wary of bringing accusations against the Lord Captain's companion. And the esteemed Letard never made any courageous friends in his life, having always preferred his work to the company of others.
Tell me about the circumstance of the murder.
The eyewitness accounts didn't give us much. The deceased and the murderer had a brief conversation, following which Mistress Kybella beheaded the chirurgeon Majoris. The witnesses did not overhear any details of the conversation.
Is it true you killed him, Kybella?
Yes.
Neither the chirurgeon's death or her own impending punishment seem to trouble Kybella. Her pensive dark gaze wanders around the bridge.
It was me.
Why did you do it?
The heartless man enjoyed what he did. His work should have been a holy mission of service. The pain of thousands should have been a solemn sacrifice. Yet he derived pleasure from it. It was repulsive.
Your influence has made Kybella adhere to the tenets of the blood-bound web with greater vehemence. Okay.
The Undying One never whispered his name. I myself decided to sever his thread.
Mara's high shrugs.
So she felt like killing some servant. Why do they all take such offense? Is every corpse going to cause such a stir from now on?
I told you it would end like this. But why should anyone listen to little old Jay?
She shakes her head sullenly.
Her colors have changed. The scarlet and the gold are drowning in the rage of muddled crimson, the misty blues of sorrow, and the impenetrable greens of doubt. These shades are all in conflict, melding together in a frenetic tapestry.
Let us hear from the victim's perspective.
The masked man's voice is unpleasantly creaky.
The esteemed Letard served this voidship and this dynasty for many years. He treated the sick and gained new knowledge as his trade commanded. He saved many, but he himself was not saved. He caused Mistress Kybella no grievance. He never offended her. He merely answered her questions regarding his work, whereupon he was attacked. And so he has the right to demand a reckoning. The death of his murderer would be lawful and proportionate retribution.
The heartless man did more than heal people. He maimed them, too. Tortured them. Killed them slowly. And observed.
Frowning, Kybella adds.
There was another like the heartless man. A Xenos from the Dark City who lorded over flesh and oversaw unholy resurrections. They were both touched by the same corruption, that of hubris.
He treated the sick and he gained knowledge.
The masked head jerks up haughtily.
The boots of those who walk the path of wisdom leave bloodied footprints. It is a rule that existed long before the esteemed Letard did.
Whom specifically did Furious torture?
Unimportant people. Common people. Doomed people.
The Requiescator shakes drops of imaginary blood from his hands with disgust.
This was the esteemed Letard's way of thinking. Does a doomed leper care whether the disease or the knife is causing them pain? Is the formula for a medicine that would cure distinguished officers not worth the lives of a few dozen commoners turned test subjects? With the knowledge he gained, he invented a multitude of bombs, antidotes, and treatment methods that went on to save thousands of lives.
These are sensible arguments.
The esteemed Letard would be grateful for this judgment. He was a man of logic and practicality.
He was a man, yeah. I've learned enough.
We humbly await your verdict, Lord Captain.
Kybella is not subject to ordinary justice. She serves the Empress for death, and such cannot be convicted for death. Furious clan will be awarded damages for the loss paid by me. Furious deserved to die. I'm not going to punish Kybella for that murder. As for his practices, the hands are banned. Find Kybella guilty, but she will receive a more lenient penalty than death. Yeah.
I cannot be put on trial.
Kibella's words are barely louder than a whisper, but everyone hears them. She raises her head, face deathly pale, as if she is asleep with her eyes open.
None have the right to judge a spinner of death.
She points at the masked man and smiles wryly. Her grim whisper is chilling.
I am going to kill you too. No contradicting the Lord Captain, convict.
The enforcer lays a firm hand on Kibella's shoulder.
Oh, he's dead.
Do not touch me.
Her hissing whisper turns into a ferocious cry. Out of nowhere, a dagger appears in her grasp and flashes across the enforcer's hand. The bridge is suddenly filled with a furious clamor, until an old man's whisper cuts through the noise.
Enough, my daughter.
Though the vizier's eyes are sewn shut, one can still read the grief that permeates his wrinkled features. He whispers in a sorrowful voice.
You have strayed from the thread. You have doomed the tenets of the blood-spun web to oblivion. What a sorry end, for me, not for you. For I am compelled to usher my apprentice's soul to the other side before it is my own time to go.
Why have you come here, Vizier?
To take the one who no longer sees the tenets. To give her to him. She is dangerous. To pacify her forever, such is my duty, and so it must be.
Mentor, why me? Do you truly think the greatest danger to your flock is me?
Kibella's voice trembles with pain.
The blame for what happened lies not with Kibella, but with your entire perverse philosophy. I never gave you permission to harm my servants, Vizier. What's going to happen to her? She is not herself.
The second spinner is in the throes of a spiritual ailment that we call doubt. This most terrible ailment, though harmless to layfolk, is deadly to us. For a doubtful spinner will stray from their destined thread and into bloodthirsty madness. Doubt brings them to the undying one before their time. Our service is demanding. It requires clarity and a sense of purpose that she no longer possesses. Long have I sensed the seeds of anxiety in her, but I hoped her reason would prove stronger and prevail. Alas, now I see the mark of despondence on her. Alas, I know that I am not mistaken.
There must be a way to help her.
How would one heal the soul of another, Damin? She is fighting a losing battle inside her mind, one she has all but lost. We cannot enter her mind. We cannot reach out a hand to her, although you could. A thread binds the Damin and her shadow together. A rare thread, a shared thread. Will that connection be enough for your souls to enter into harmony?
I must attempt to save her at the very least. An Imperial Guardsman, a Space Marine, an Inquisitor walking into a bar. The Guardsman says, "Oh," the Space Marine breaks right through the bar with his reinforced skull. Inquisitor accuses the bar of heresy. When the bar refuses to confess or even move despite sustained torture, the Inquisitor executes the Guardsman for failing to defeat the bar in combat. Oh, so true. That is absolutely so fucking true. Yeah. Oh. I must at least attempt to save her.
The vizier turns his face toward Kibella, who seems withdrawn, her spark snuffed out. He whispers.
Then seek a steward of souls. An artisan who will put you both in a psycher's trance, allowing your minds to become one. You have a chapel full of astropaths, Damin. One of them will surely do you that service. See that their guidance is strong, for inside her soul, you will encounter monsters. A doubt-ridden mind is a dangerous place.
Okay. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We're going to talk with Kybella.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
Some of my companions have accused me of turning away from the Emperor, but not you. Why is that?
I am your shadow, Domin. Wherever you choose to go, I will always follow. I see your deeds, I hear your prayers, and yet I wait. When the Undying One whispers your name, my blades will rid you of the weight of your transgressions. But for as long as he is silent, I am your sword and shield, Domin. So it has been, and so it shall be.
Okay.
May
We go to the astropath. We go to the astropath. I think we've gone a bit too far down the heretical. Like, most of the heretical things right now is just pure bonkers. Like, pure insane. To the point where I just don't want to do it. Cabela is back in the party. And we're going to go here because we're going to have a ritual to make it so Cabela can actually go. We can maybe save. I was going to say save her from her psychopathic tendencies, but she's a death cultist, so yeah, no. Rising tempo.
There will be no peace in my wake.
There's so much heretical stuff going on.
As you approach, the choir master's blindfold lights up with a bluish glow.
Your ladyship seldom comes here without a reason. How can I be of service to you today?
Can you put me in the Cabela? Can you put me in trance with Cabela? I need to go inside her mind. How are your ghosts?
The choir master looks away, embarrassed.
The mistakes of the past no longer haunt me, not in my dreams or in reality. But I still remember. I remember every single one of them.
That's good. That's good. That means you might actually be trying.
A synchronized trance is a complex telepathic practice. Things can go awry unless both participants trust each other and have a strong spiritual connection. However, I can sense that you do. I would be honored to be your guide during the ritual, Lord Captain. But remember, it is easy to get lost in another person's thoughts. And the fears of others, house monsters.
I'm prepared for the risk. Put me in the trance.
I will stay in the chapel, Octavia the Fire Axe, to hold a vigil in prayer. May the Emperor help you return this lost soul to the righteous path.
May the God Emperor aid you, Lord Captain.
A shackled mind cannot comprehend the wisdom contained herein, therefore repeat, he is death. Release your breath with each word. Cleanse your thoughts. He is death. Truth lies in death. Free your soul from the body's cage. Become nothing. He is death. Now that your heartbeat is a perfect line and your vision is shrouded in dusk, you have almost reached a state of purity and balance. Heed. No human will see death before their time. That is the delusion of the living. Heed. To which we say, a strong spirit can travel there and make the journey back. Heed the tale of the great Domin Octavia the Fire Axe, who descended into the kingdom of the dead to retrieve her shadow.
He is dead. Death.
Birth and death are one. We are snatched from a place of warmth and sent blood-covered into an unfamiliar world. Dying is the same. The Domin, too, learned this as she opened her eyes and found herself on the lower decks, lying in a cold coffin. She beheld her ship, drifting through nothingness, an adamantine giant's corpse, a skeleton moaning from the winds of entropy. A tempest of rust was gnawing at its plasteel bones and twisting its bane like cables, while machine oil oozed down its bulkheads like lymph. Had the Domin been alone, she would have lost her way inside the ship's mangled bowels, but a guide reached out a hand to her. The spirit of old Vina Zachary had loyally followed the Domin to the other side. In the labyrinth of the hereafter, the piercing gaze of Vina Zachary discerned the thorny path to the halls of death. The loyal servant swore to protect his lady. Together, the Domin and the Vini made their way up through the malformed frame of the ship. From the cold catacombs of the lower decks, they traveled up into the fires of the ship's crematorium. Tongues of flame licked at them, yet they did not burn. Columns of the dead marched toward them to be turned to ash in the fire, and the Domin and the Vini walked toward the dead in turn. At the great gate of the crematorium, their path was blocked by the executioner, a sentinel made of metal spikes and coiling blades with roaring flame and pale, bleeding bodies writhing within. Such is a blade that has lost the strength of the tenets. A murderous monster no longer driven by faith, but by dark desires. The Domin saw that a fight was inevitable, and
Block the first blow, aiming for a weak spot.
awareness test succeeded. The blades and the spikes fell, clanging, and turned to rust. For bloodlust weakens a blade, and the Domin had proved as much. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Domin's hand. It was the God Emperor. And the first doubt was dispelled. He is death.
He is death.
Vina Zachary led the Domin out of the hot furnace of the crematorium, and they walked past long columns of the dead. Frayed was their attire, their bones scraped against their augmatics and scratched their decrepit flesh. They were moaning sorrowfully, and the sound made memory fade away. The Domin saw that the dead were carrying an ark, and inside the ark was a thing. A lost child cocooned in silk, shedding crimson tears for the unknown. The unliving carried her as servants would carry their lady, and loudly lamented their fate. Such is a blade mired in broodings over a lost past, a helpless child paralyzed by regret. Lest she sink into the soft rot of their wails and perish, the Domin
Sternly ordered the apparitions vanish. Press onward, pushing the dead away from her with her strong arms. Sternly ordered the apparitions to vanish.
coercion test succeeded. The creature wailed and trailed off into the void like a river of rot. For doubt weakens the spirit, and weakness always loses to strength. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Domin's hand. It was the star. And the second doubt was dispelled.
He is death.
And the old Vini led the Domin to the upper decks. And the Domin entered into the officers' chambers. A web of veins adorned the walls, entangling the precious trophies, and statues were bound in intertwining sinews. And high upon a balcony, the dismembered judge wailed as he attempted to reassemble himself with his pale hands. But his movements merely tightened the tangle of the flesh, turning the chambers into a snare. Such is a blade tangled and trapped in misunderstood teachings. A hapless creature that does not know its place in the world. In order to continue on her journey, the Domin
The Domin helped the judge by returning each of his organs to their proper place.
logic test succeeded. And the judge became whole again, and regained his comprehension of the world. For one who is wise can make whole what was broken. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Domin's hand. It was the rogue trader. And the third doubt was dispelled. He is death. The flagship's bridge was draped in skulls and webs. And pale souls of the dead flocked to the foot of the throne upon which sat the undying emperor, the protector of mankind. May his praises be innumerable. Starlight shone coldly in the eyes of his skull, and the galaxy rested in his mighty hand. The Domin approached his throne and
greeted him with pride and dignity.
The undying emperor grinned a bony grin, and cast a glance at the Domin. And at that moment, something died forever inside the Domin. For the price of arrogant pride in the face of death is always heavy, but worth its weight. Then the undying one spoke, and these words are to be preserved in your heart as the greatest of prayers, for they sprang from a source that was and is the holiest of all things. I know you, Domin. I know your heart. and the unclean corruption that dwells within it. I know the temptations and shameful longings that gnaw at you. And thus know this, you will face me again when it is your turn, and your spirit will be weighed but found unworthy, and you will rot in sorrow. But that will come to pass later. The undying emperor, may his praises be innumerable, said no more, and it was the Domin's turn to speak.
And speak the Domin did, saying that she had come to find her shadow and rescue her.
The skeletal fingers stirred, and the Domin's shadow loomed out of the darkness beside his throne. She was bound in black chains and asleep. The Undying One was silent. Now was the time to offer a payment, as death would give nothing away without payment in return. And the Domin promised the Undying One.
She would honor him with sacrifice in the myriad of lives.
The Undying One laughed, for the Domin had promised him nothing that did not already belong to him. Then the Undying Emperor leant over the Domin and drove a skeletal finger right into her heart. And he pulled at the scarlet thread of her soul, and the thread trembled, stretched to the limit. It was then that a revelation came to the Domin: a life must be paid for a life. And a name was revealed to her, Naki Erebus. That was the life the Undying One demanded as payment. And the Domin,
Naki Erebus, agree to the price.
an oath of blood was sworn, and the chains fell from the Domin's shadow. Yet she remained silent and motionless, for she saw no sense in leaving the halls of death. To which the Domin told her
that she had been waiting for her and missed her, and had come to claim her and keep her. That her duty to the Undying One and Domin had not been fulfilled yet. That in beholding death as one of the living, she had received the gift of unparalleled greatness. That her congregation was suffering without her protection of the Undying One's mercy. Behold death as one of the living, she had received the gift of unparalleled greatness.
and there was clarity in the shadow's soul, and her eyes opened. Her doubt was banished, and she glimpsed the truth in her lady's words. That the shadow's encounter with death had taught her many things about the flow of fate's currents, and thus she was now positioned to decide which thread to sever. Second Spinner Kibella, Death's chosen one, may she be glorified. He is death.
He is death.
The Domin and her shadow left the bridge of the Undying Emperor, may his praises be innumerable, and their path was strewn with his tarot cards. Among them, the Domin saw the card of the executioner, who carries out sentences and brings a violent end to that which he did not begin. Among them, the Domin saw the card of the judge, who weighs and separates guilt from innocence, and passes his verdict. And they descended into the lower bays, lay down in a stone coffin, and closed their eyes. And the Domin heard the Undying Emperor's voice promising they would meet again, and soon. And thereupon their journey ended. And so it was that the Domin, having seen death before her due time, traveled there and back to bring us these tidings and wisdom. Be free of doubt as you walk along the threads of the blood-spun web, for those threads lead to him, as does all of existence. He is death.
He is death.
As the shock of another mind's jumbled thoughts stops constricting your throat, you find yourself staring at Kibella's pale face. It has settled into a strange expression.
Domin, Octavia the Fire Axe.
Look at the choir master.
Breathing heavily, the choir master covers his face and whispers.
It is over, Lord Captain. We are in the world of flesh again.
I spoke to the Emperor.
That was not the Emperor, Lord Captain. It was merely Mistress Kybella's vision of him. A figment born out of her imagination. Alas, none among my fellows are powerful enough to bring you the voice of the protector of mankind.
Are you well, Cabela? Do you remember what happened? How we met death?
I remember, stumbling. I remember my doubt in the truth of the tenets throwing me off my feet. I remember deciding to kill, and not because I had heard his whisper, but because I deemed it to be right. Death whispered my name. For a spinner without a thread is like a sky without stars. They would drown in their own soul's darkness. but you have reminded me of who I am. And that my shameful weakness must be extinguished.
Kibella looks away.
This Naki Arabes is the payment the Undying One demands. The price of redemption. The price of freedom. Who is this person? Where are they from? I do not know. Help me find them, Damin. Your factotum oversees archives that contain many names. Let him find the one that death has spoken. And I will pay the price that was set. For I know, I feel with all my essence, the death of Naki Arabes is the key. The answer to my questions.
What lies beyond?
Void Bridge, Void Bridge. Void Shrine? Why do we have the Void Shrine? I don't know. That's a good question of why do we have the Void Shrine? Professor.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
Medicaid Officer Marius?
A young man is praying beside the reliquary. His hair is disheveled and his sweat-stained uniform is crumpled. Dark circles have formed underneath his eyes. As you approach, he jumps up from his knees and makes the sign of the Aquila with a jerky motion.
Lord Captain. You are here. I believed, nay, I knew you would come.
The young man takes an almost ludicrously deep breath and says solemnly,
I am Marius Clemens Sorn Keblau, Medici officer. I have had a vision. My great-great-grandfather appeared before me and bid me seek your blessing to become a missionary. Please grant me your gracious leave to embark on my journey.
He freezes and stares at you without blinking.
Examine the strange young man.
His bloodshot eyes, slightly twitching fingers, and nervous agitation point to chronic sleep deprivation or the grueling strain of too much work.
You look unwell, Marius. How long since you last slept?
I require neither rest nor sleep. I feel energized and alive like never before. I'm overflowing with faith.
You deign to speak to me out of turn? Tell me more about your vision.
The officer raises his eyes to the ceiling and recollects with rapt abandon.
First I noticed a faint light out of the corner of my eye, but thought it was a surgical lumen someone had turned on. The light grew brighter, and when I turned toward it, it shone right through me. I saw my muscles, organs, and bones under my skin. I was bared, body and soul, as if I was standing by the throne itself. An ancestor of mine stepped out of that most pure light.
Marius pauses, his voice faltering.
And he said, My child. Your destiny is to bring faith to distant worlds. Seek the rogue trader's blessing and set out on your journey. The words didn't seem to be coming from his mouth but from every direction at once, and other strong and pure voices echoed them, and.
For a moment Marius looks like he's about to faint, but he finishes his speech in a tone that is almost serene.
It was a miracle.
Prove to me that your epiphany was real. Put your faith to the test.
Your words leave the officer awestruck. He freezes in place, waiting.
Sister Argenta, I entrust you with the test.
An inner fire lights up Argenta's face.
You believe you have been chosen for missionary work? Do you know what hardships the bringers of his word must endure? Words alone will not make the faithless fall to their knees. Countless righteous men and women have died at the hands of those they were trying to save. Other foes lurk on remote worlds as well. Disease, hunger, destitution. The smallest flaw in your faith will be enough for them to break you and turn you away from the throne. Do you think you have what it takes to overcome these challenges?
It is hard to tell if Marius is more intimidated by the Sister of Battle or the hardships she speaks of. However, he juts out his chin and replies in a firm voice.
I will drink my cup of sorrows, no matter how bitter it may be, and will praise the Emperor for every trial.
Argenta nods in satisfaction.
Spoken like a righteous man.
You are assigned to a position on the ship. Your place is in the Imperium's design. You seek to upset that order. I ought to have you executed for impudence. Marius, you can do it without leaving the ship. We have enough work here to fill the rest of your life. Cure the people and strengthen their faith. Is that not enough? What are we going with? No, we're going with free iconoclast.
The Medici officer looks away, struggling to comprehend what he has just heard. A deep furrow appears on his brow, a rare occurrence in someone of his age.
You are right. There's a lot I could do for my home ship. But I can't just turn my back on the sign I was given and make do with a compromise. The Emperor commands that I dedicate every part of me to his faith, so that's how it must be.
Dramatic done.
Marius wrings his hands.
Your ladyship. You have turned my inner eye to things I've never reflected on before. I think you're right. I am not ready to be a missionary.
He smiles a tired smile.
A vision brought me to you, and you have shown me the truth. Correcting the flaws in my faith is what I must turn my efforts toward.
Okay.
In this tapestry of a world,
Emperor's mercy.
I am
This confession
the
is blasphemy,
rogue thread.
terrible blasphemy. Who is this heretic lurking aboard? And how do I cleanse my soul of what I've heard? It burns. It burns my mind.
Okay, let's leave. The Void Bridge, back to the Void Bridge. And our adventure continues. Did we do one jump? I don't know if we did one jump, honestly. That's a good question, though. That's a really good question. I have so many quests that take so long. No, we're in the right place. We're visiting this. We are donating Promethium to the fuel station over here. Already explored. Okay, we got that. That was one of the things we needed for something, right? Fellowship of the Void. More rap with Fellowship of the Void won't be bad.
When the rogue trader. The station thanks the rogue trader for her cooperation. The station thanks the rogue trader. The station thanks the rogue trader for her cooperation and presents her with several containers of unused reserves as a token of its gratitude.
No, we got a respirator wear gains 15 bonus. We got 3 of those? That's bonkers. Really? We got 3 of those? We got... Demolition goggles. Whenever the wearer fails a demolition skill, they immediately re-roll it and using agility instead of demolition. Dragoness. What can we build here? Yeah, we can't build anything there. Okay, too bad. Complacency and efficiency, security for everyone. Yep. Okay, what do we have here? We're missing Palace of the Outcasts. Profit factor. Intelligence, fellowship, and willpower. I think that's the one we're going for, honestly. This one is not bad. Whenever the wearer perform a non-burst attack with pistols, if the wearer kills an enemy with a pistol attack, they immediately reload it. Each pistol reload grants 5 critical hit chance for pistol attacks. Like more int, fellowship, and willpower, I think is the better option, honestly. Yeah, fuck it. We're going that route. Cool tools for killing. Yep, tools for killing. And then we're going archive. Find some Dome Messiah. And then we are going this one. And we need more rep to get this one. Yep. Do we still have the option to trade more?
When the rogue trader's ship approaches the Adeptus Mechanicus Void Station.
We haven't done that many jumps and that many combats, if that makes sense. So we have Homunculus Prism is over here.
A warp breach. Ungodly fiends spreading sorcerous disease walk the lower decks, gathering a cohort of infected voidsmen. If no measures are taken immediately.
Yeah, we're just dealing it with ourselves. For ourselves. That's honestly the best way of dealing with this, because that means we actually gain something from it most of the time. Maybe it's just one pack of weapons, something like that. Some of the better ones we gain a ton from.
Let us rise up to that storm!
Okay, let's go.
Running by natural right.
That's a good shot, though.
Requests infinite value.
Gotta love you, Pascal. Gotta love you.
War is my muse.
Let's light some heretics on fire.
Another one is shattered.
A gloomy premonition clouds the mind. Surfaces around are covered with mucus. Discharges of the motive force fill the air.
Plague Bear? Oh, they're down here, all of them. Okay, fair enough. Let's just light them on fire then.
Successfully terminated.
Oh, a genius at what I brook no opposition. Our predictable downfall.
Those are too far away. Okay, fair enough.
The air is filled with evil whispers.
Another one is shattered.
Come on. Can I get line of sight on you? No, I cannot. Okay, fair enough.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I refuse. That is not the Emperor's will. Faith without deeds is worthless. Doubt is for the weak.
The stink of scorched flesh fills the air.
Nice. And then someone collect from here. There? And there.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Okay. Octavia Fyrax is now on a high level of just fucking stupid OP. Because, oh my god. That was...
Lord Captain, Veerboss 6 begs for help. Something terrible prowls the planet, searching for a way to wipe out the planet's inhabitants. Victims died in small groups at first, so they dismissed it as simple accidents, a poisoning, a crashed transport, a fire. But the death toll has started to rise, and explaining everything as mere coincidence is no longer an option. The enemy appears to be testing out different methods of killing your subjects, like it's looking for the most efficient way to murder as many of them at once as possible. Our picked traps sometimes catch sight of a blurry dark shadow walking among the people, but no one has actually seen it with their own eyes.
What kind of accidents are happening there?
Various sorts of mechanical failures. Ventilation systems emitting substances that have no business being there. Auspex registering spikes of radiation. Maintenance systems shutting down for no apparent reason. It all resembles extermination experiments, with your servants playing the role of test subject.
Place all mining complex on high alert and stay vigilant. Sooner or later we will spot it. Yeah, sure.
May the Emperor grant us victory over this foe. The vigilant wardens were up to the rogue trader's task. Having placed the colony on high alert, they waited for the moment when the enemy would reveal itself. The wardens were better suited for punishing convicts than lookout duty. At last, an alert came in. One of the inner gates that had previously been sealed was being opened. The guards who arrived on the scene saw a dark figure and opened fire. Wounded, the creature fled. Cornered in its den, the monster fought its final battle and was slain. It was a terrifying Xenos with a metallic skeletal body and a single emerald eye. Its lair turned out to be a crypt-like chamber, and beneath it was an entire fortress buried in stone. The walls were covered in glyphs similar to the mysterious patterns that the mad convicts were drawing. The chamber also contained the dissected remains of the missing miners. The Omnisara's servants studied the bodies, the crypt, and the Xenos' corpse, hypothesizing that the inhuman belonged to a caste of sages among its kind. It had remained in stasis for ages untold but had recently been awakened either by the mining efforts or the explosions caused by the Druckery invaders. After killing everyone who had approached its lair, the creature tried to wake its brethren, but millennia of tectonic shifts had crushed the underground fortress. The creature was alone. The fearsome insects, the ones that assailed the colony, were the only tool the Xenos had left, so it chose to lie in wait. But when the heretics of the Final Dawn sabotaged the fortress's reactor in their attempts to destroy the planet, the Xenos grew restless and started searching for a way to exterminate the humans. Now the last Xenos survivor was dead, and so was its entire race. Or at least, so prayed every denizen of Veabos 6.
Yeah? I wonder if there actually is a conversation option, like one of the options make it so you can learn from there. Maybe I should have just picked another... I wanna... Latest load is before the combat. Yeah, no.
Having already studied the surface of the planet before, the augurs detect a suspicious zone with an unidentified object at its center. It must have been hidden previously by some force field, but now it is for some reason inactive. Having already studied the surface of the planet, a disgusting sight unfolds before the scouts. In a sinister, high-fenced enclosure, hideous mutants crawl and writhe. Hundreds of ugly beasts, their shapes vaguely reminiscent of humans, squirm on several pairs of deformed arms and legs.
Order the team
Incapable
to
of
activate
attacking,
the beacon.
the activated beacon on the planet emits a thin lilac beam, sending out a signal, which is promptly accepted by the artifact on board. The prism unfolds into many small petals and shows a holographic image of a certain planet and corresponding coordinates.
Order the scouts to bring the beacon to the ship.
In response to the beacon's attempted removal, the collars and chains binding the mutants together suddenly activate, emitting a series of destructive impulses that slowly inflate and explode the beasts one after the other. In nightmarish agony, writhing and shrieking from unbearable pain, the Hemunculus's victims are finally granted their deaths and long-awaited freedom.
Okay, and then we have Drukhari ships here.
On the edge of the system, a few crippled xenoships barely visible in the darkness of space huddle together. Not displaying any of the usual hostility, the Xenos are stuck in inactivity, entirely ignoring the rogue trader's presence. The Augur team has detected a number of damaged void ships, each afflicted with several system failures and bearing a few dozen living creatures. An attempt to identify their drive signatures is met with failure, but the scanners pick up an exchange of data between the ships along an encrypted channel. Mara's High recognizes the vessels as those of the Reaving Tempest Cabal by their silhouettes and markings. The news that his Cabal's warriors survived their insatiable kin's bloodthirst fills the Xenos with a grim resolve. Mara's High turns to the rogue trader with a demand to leave the detected ships unharmed. The Xenos yearns to meet them in person.
Contact the ships.
With the clicking of levers and toggling of switches, the Vox Master transmits a message to the Xenoships but receives no response. Be it an equipment malfunction or deliberate disdain, the Xenos disregard the rogue trader's hail.
Let Marasai fly to the Xena ship on the shuttle. Yeah.
The shuttle carrying Mara's High returns so quickly to the rogue trader's vessel that it is impossible to tell whether the Xenos took part in failed negotiations or participated in a violent and impetuous duel. Offering no comment, Mara's High turns to the Lord Captain with a categorical request: help the survivors and let them go.
Agree to help them in exchange for a generous reward.
Officers sent to oversee the trade alongside Mara's High report that the exchange was successful. Some uncooperative Xenos were against it, but Mara's High's deadly hand took their lives before their arguments gained any weight.
Oh, okay. I thought we would get something ridiculous from that, but no, we did not. Plundered Void Station. I don't think there's anything on here, but fuck it, let's have a look.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Yeah. Nothing here. It's a good question what I actually should be doing. We have Winter Scales quest here. Forgotten Twins. Distress signal. Landing place, Rocky World. I don't remember that one being there. Drifting void ship, drifting void ship, drifting void ship. Okay. Loadsome discovery. Okay, so we have things here. We have things here. Still can't do that. That was one of the quests. That's a planet I haven't actually been on. That's a system I haven't actually been to. Okay.
Warp emanations have filled the plasma drive bay.
This is how you grind rep in this game, so what can I expect, honestly? Okay, what enemies do we have?
Lies beyond.
I think it's Slaanesh. Mutant Psyker. Yeah, it's probably Slaanesh.
Oh, what an amusing attempt at defiance!
No, it's Singe. Okay, fair enough.
Running binary significant value.
Gotta love that one, honestly.
I'm not injured.
Hungry blue horror, hungry blue horror, hungry blue horror.
Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, this is why I was chosen! None can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it.
We go that route. Can we actually hit
As the
something
Emperor
interesting
commands,
so we
I
can get
act.
more than one? Hit that. Oh, we're gonna just spray in there. Yeah, sure.
Doubt is for the weak. Strike is a prayer. I'll do it. Schemes within schemes.
Tell me, and it is done.
Still 2 in radius there. Honestly, there though.
I know what I'm doing, usually. Am I getting paid for this? Never quite fair.
Oh yeah, we actually need to give you another weapon or something like that, right, Avalon?
I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
Someone's death wish is mine to grant.
Two of those
More trouble than it's worth.
is fucking bonkers.
Everyone,
2
step
executioners.
Your reckoning is due.
There will be no peace
Okay.
in my wake.
That was fairly easily fixed. Weirdly enough, I don't think I've seen a Nurgle infestation in the plasma room once. I've seen Slanesh, I've seen Singe, I've seen Korn, but I haven't seen Far from the Earth. Where was it going? Oh my god. 2 hours already. Gotthard Void Ship, yes.
While traveling through the Immatrium, the crew on duty in loading Bay 7 heard what sounded like the hissing of a giant snake. The terrified workers sent out a Vox message.
The Janus colony needs my attention. Okay. I want to go and check Gotthard Void Ship. Oh, it's this one. It's this one. I think this is the one we cleared from our... We took the scene, we took the Chaos Artifact from it and killed the Voidsman.
They will see.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they all will see.
Okay, great. Coming out. It wants us to visit Janus. Okay, fair enough. A great fire. Deal damage with plasma and melter weapons. Against Xenos. The wielder gains 25% bonus to dodge and 25 to parry. Each hit suffers. Okay, so it's a solid weapon. What do we have here? Whenever an ally is healed from the first time in the round, damage dealt by the ally is increased by 8 until the end of combat stacks. Lose refugees, Lightbringer. We don't have that. I think that's a foul stone yet again. Motive force. Teach deserves to read. Be useful, as it would be dangerous. What do we want here? Like, dodge against Xenos? It's not a bad. This sword is really good. I think we're going with that sword, honestly. Are you finished? No, we don't have Fledgling. Dragoness, are you finished with everything? Call to arms. Okay.
Emergency aboard the void ship.
And to Dragoness, no, Janus we go. Yeah, today has been really slow. It's one of the days still...
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Request approved.
I've suffered worse.
What if? Schema, predictable downfall.
Get me a target.
Sure will.
For the throne's glory. Let's see to it.
Indeed. It will be done.
You parried it? Okay.
Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
Okay.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Shadows start to bleed.
Doubt is for the weak.
Why didn't you hit any of those?
As the Emperor commands, I act.
You've got a problem, Jai. Remember the name.
I'll
Yeah.
do it. I will endure.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Kill it. Okay, nice.
One fewer target.
The storm approaches. Behold my artistry! I won't sully myself with that.
How do you win your battles? I scream at them.
What? Darling, no.
I'll see our foes obliterated. I won't object to it.
Fate claims another one.
But of course, Lord Captain.
The gust of cold wind ruffles your hair.
Shattered.
We go over here. And then we charge in on
I
you.
will do my duty. At your beck and call. Victory is imminent.
Cuts and cracks appear on your skin.
Okay.
Guided by faith. My faith shields me. For you, my emperor.
Okay, and then that. And boom, bang, bada bing, boof.
A feeling of terror grips your heart.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Patience.
I won't go
My
down.
lad's afraid.
Okay, and another one is finished. We're doing the event on Janus, and then we're calling it for today. Streaming for over 2 hours, and yeah, a lot of things is going on. That's for sure.
Alarming news from Janus. The Woodway Gate has opened, bringing forth a wave of Xenos.
Send diplomats to the forest. Complacency is serious. Send the military detachment. Yeah, sure.
Enforcers perish in a bloody battle between Crudarika's Ildry and Druckery raiders. Following Warren's victory, a fragile peace settles on Janus.
Okay. How many... How many boxes do we have of resources? We don't really have that many, no. But we're going back to... because we need...
The tech priest. Several armed teams left to search for the unknown creature that had invaded the vessel. All but 2 returned with nothing to show for it but hair turned prematurely grey and horror stories of what was happening in Loading Bay 5. One team brought back a bizarre trophy allegedly found behind a shattered... Lord Captain, there has been an act of sabotage on Kaiva Gamma. The cult of the Final Dawn has invaded the planet, cultivated a pack of schismaticals in the bowels of the manufactorums, and set them upon us. The attack was so sudden that we almost lost all the workshops, but we had help. Some entities, already being called data angels, have invaded the cogitational network, seized the cogitators and servitors, and used them to repel the first onslaught of the schismaticals. Now there is a fierce struggle taking place all over the planet. The new sphere of the world is boiling.
How did the cultists infiltrate my world?
This was a part of a coordinated attack that hit the entire expanse. The heretics must have been preparing for a long time. The cultists have contacted your secret artisans that work in the forbidden workshops. The fools hope that they will betray your leadership and join in the attack. We could use their delusions to our advantage. If our enemy is truly wrong, that is.
What do we know about these data angels?
Not much. They are machine spirits, beings born from the art of data smithing. They charge into battle chanting the same binary mantra that the participants of Procedure 0C chanted. The Lorges, who have been observing them and have investigated the cells used in Procedure 0C, have deciphered traces of their activity and discovered patterns that could point us to the possible creators of these data angels. If they are right, then they bear the seal of the Explorator's Connaissance Fleet. Connecting to the Naval Directory. No mentions of operations on Kayavagama detected. No information on data angels detected. Hypothesis: either there has been a calculation error, or the information is locked behind a higher level of security clearance required for the sacrament.
Wish to hear the opinions of my officers.
There are backup cogitators located in the Kayavagama's manufactorums to ensure the continuity of production in case of an accident. The severity of the situation would call for disrupting the service algorithms, and I am prepared to sanction a ritual that will allow the data angels of the Omnisar to absorb the cogitators' computing power to combat these wicked spirits. If I were you, I wouldn't trust those uninvited allies of yours. That kind of altruism almost always ferries something foul. Learn more about these creatures, order your servants to hunt one of them down, torture them, and gain knowledge through the process, since they cannot find pleasure in it.
All allies perception, 10 armor penetration. Plus that. Binaric dissection. All allies ignore 10% armor and... No, Terror of Kiva Gamma. Machine parts, Necron creatures deal 10% less to... You know what? We're going with Pascal. Sanction the ritual of bonding and back up the cogitators.
Your request to perform the sacrament is accepted and shall be fulfilled immediately. Having gained access to the cogitational reserves and after being infused with power, the data angels charged at the schismaticals. The hordes of data spirits have been tech exorcised and exterminated, and the afflicted mechanisms purged and restored. The tech priests gave praise to the Omnisar for protecting the production algorithm from severe disruption. After exiling the schismaticals, the data angels have retreated into hiding inside the cogitational networks, leaving the servants of the Omnisar only to guess at who or what these beings were.
Nice. Okay, so we are going for this one. Yeah, this one. No question about it. I want to talk to... We've gained a bit of rep with... I think we have gained a bit of rep with you. We haven't actually had any pirate battles, but we have gained a bit of rep, yes. 91 to 50 medium range. I like the large range one. Okay. Really torn on that one. I know we have gained reputation with Fellowship of the Void. So that is the first place we're going. Then we're going Mechanicum, and then we're calling it. Just one more thing. Just one more thing. This is why these kind of games are dangerous for me, because it is literally just like one more thing, one more thing, one more thing.
Oh, what lies beyond?
Welcome back.
That is a fair bit of things. Coercion. When the wearer target an ally with an ability, the ally gains 10% melee damage until the end of the round. Anti-vehicle. On successful hit, the shot explodes, dealing impact damage. Everyone in the area of effect. Okay. That one though, the wearer gains 25 demolition, area attack deals 7 plus damage. That's actually fairly good. Not really what we want. Best advantage if the wearer has 5 more tactical advantages. Also ignores cover. If the wearer already has undisputed advantage talent, this will only spend 1/4 of tactical advantage. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Self-calibrating helmet. It. 100 damage. That's a lot. That's a lot. Cultist armor. Whenever the wearer is attacked, the attacker will pass. Okay. Willpower, 15 plus armor if the willpower. Okay. The scarf is the only thing that actually is kind of interesting right now for me. Because that is a ridiculous amount of dodge that I can actually get. And that means that this character might actually be able to survive a bit more. But we're not going to sell anything to you.
There will be no peace
Not right
in
now,
my
anyway.
wake.
Kaspalican.
The Liege.
Nothing I can get from you. And there's nothing really we want from you right now. We want... I think Durasian and... Explorators and Fellowship of the Void, but Fellowship of the Void has been like our go-to continuously here. And we're going to do this as well. One of the things you can do if you actually start grinding is you have a fair bit of producing buildings. So you check that every time you do a warp jump, and then you just warp jump back and forth and check productions. Because that's kind of just like... And then hoping for encounters. And just grind reputation that way. But the majority of the reputation you get from that is going to be Mechanicus. Current exams, stalwart defenders, and Fauston can help you by sending its children to every dark corner in the sector. So we can't actually get this, because we don't have Faustone.
Request processing channel opened. Trade terminal Zeta 42 /
Power damage. That's the one we looked at. Whenever inflicted damage over time, the effect or kill an enemy, gain 1. It deals info. What is that stacking with? It's stacking with medicine. Okay, that's actually interesting. So you can make the Executioner a full medic class. Every psychic used by the wearer deals additional direct damage to all enemies in... Oh, it needs to be dogmatic. Fanatic, dogmatic. Okay. Allies resolve. Status Bolter, Ghost. Whenever there were attacks, they gain 1 psi rating until the end of their next turn. If you combine this... If you combine this with... Oh my god, you could actually have infinite amount of psychic attacks in the beginning. Ooh, that's nasty.
Ah, one step at a time.
The thing I
Amidst
wanted to
the
do was
madness.
this. Add cargo. Add cargo. Add cargo. We're not getting these on the regular. So I guess we're going to split this. So, and then just add cargo. We're not using normal grenades anymore. Add cargo. Those we can add to cargo. We have a lot of Mechanicus cargo now, I think. Yeah, we have a fair bit. Okay.
They will see. Oh, yes.
And many
they
is...
all
The Emperor
will
protects.
see.
If we just do that, that's 1750. Yeah, sure. Pistol shots. We haven't even worked our way down to... like the rep stuff for the new for Act 3. These are the first things here, these 6.
In this tapestry of a world, the road.
And then we trade the rest into you.
Request processing.
3,000. Okay. Got 2. And we got that one as well. Okay. What is that multiplier on? That is +1 plus strength bonus divided by 2.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Do we actually have... Nope. No more cargo. We have the people here. But I don't know what to do with them. Yeah. This is the stuff we have left. Nothing of like, oh my god, how could you do this stuff, but yeah. Ace, if equipped with 2 pistol, they gain 10 plus ballistic and a 10% chance to hit. The armor, base armor property is 50% dodge if the wearer's ballistic is higher than 70. That's real good.
What lies beyond?
We're returning to the ship. We're going to save. And we're going to call it for the evening. If you actually came to the end with us today, thank you very much. And our horrible way of building our characters have finally come to the point where this thing we have right in front of us is now murdering everything within vision turn 1, pretty much. And we have Kibella. There. You got yourself a better blade now. A lot better blade. Your toughness, weapon skill, like, you are a monster in combat, aren't you? Yeah. What head should we actually put on you? That's the point it's coming to right now, isn't it? And none of the helmets show up. Why does none of the helmet actually show up on you? That is a bit annoying. We need another pair of shoes on you, don't we? I think so. Agility and athletics? Yeah, sure. Damage against enemies who have no allies adjustment. Melee weapon equipped in both hands. Their slash ability makes an additional attack. That could be cool as well. Once per turn, after the wearer uses Blood Oath or Blood Vengeance, they gain 1 use of dash, costing 0 AP. Dash, Blood Oath, Blood Vengeance. I don't think that actually works for you though. Whereas the wearer 50 dodge reduction with melee attack. Yeah. Let's go with that. Why? Why is it... Really? Okay, fair enough. Does that mean that... Oh yeah, she has it on now. Okay. Wait. Does she have that as well? Is my question now then. No, Gyrios doesn't show up on her, presumably. I thought some hardware actually showed up on her. But am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. Well, that sucks. that one shows up. Okay. Now that sticks. What the fuck? Wait? What happened? I don't understand what happens, but okay, yeah, sure. I want to see one more thing before we call it for today. You had some glasses on. You had those scan, I think. Yeah. Agatha, how do you look with this on? Okay, that you actually show it. Okay, great. Here is a thing I actually want in this game. I want to be able to actually switch around. There, 25 plus demolition. Weapon deal additional 16 damage. That is bonkers. That is absolute bonkers. I want to be able... Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
The ingenious creation of an unknown craftsman shimmers, hypnotizing you with its faintly glowing patterns. The trinket is so captivating, you cannot take your eyes off it. When you try to shift it into your other hand, you notice that it can barely separate from your skin. There are thousands of fine flagella stretching between the surface and your palm. You tear the device off with effort and see countless tiny droplets of scarlet left behind.
Throw away the artifact.
You swing wildly and hurl the mysterious device as hard as you can through one of the broken windows of the hall. Now only the God Emperor knows where to look for it, and perhaps that is for the best.
That's interesting. No, you know what? Fuck the whole Halo device. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I want to wish everyone a good night. I'm going to save here before anything else happens. And if you actually want to continue on and looking through what actually happens with Octavia the Fire Axe, I'm trying to stream every single evening at 6 o'clock Central European Time. But anyway, good night, everyone.